We all have that one woman in our life that we've been pursuing for a while. Now, this might be a woman at work, or one you see regularly at the coffee shop, or maybe she lives in your building. Either way, every time you see her, there's a warm embrace followed by a kiss on the cheek that almost hits the corner of your mouth. And as you talk, you guys are always saying, oh, we should get together sometime. And you've even made plans to get together, but something always suddenly comes up. And what's confusing about the whole thing is that her excuses are usually pretty good, and she's always open to making plans with you in the future. Plans that she inevitably flakes on again, leaving you right back where you started. And you feel like you're putting in all this effort, right? And even rejection wouldn't be so bad, but she's not really rejecting you, but she's also not letting you in. And you think to yourself, all right, I'm just going to kind of step off. I'm going to let her come to me. But then she might forget about you altogether. And then you think, all right, I'm going to continue to play it safe. But you do that long enough, and eventually she's going to see you like one of her girlfriends. And you know if you make a move that's too bold, every time you run into her, she's going to look at you differently. And you think to yourself, if I just knew where the line was, then I could avoid screwing up. And if you had that answer, then you could just be authentic. You could be yourself, and you could be tastefully assertive in pursuing this woman. The truth is that she doesn't expect you to not screw up. In fact, watching you screw up is part of a woman's qualification process. You see, women aren't only looking for a man who is capable physically or financially. Those things come rather naturally to men, so it's not that hard to find. But what's rare is a man that can put up with her emotional storms and her bullshit. Women are looking for a man that can feel without being affected, all while empathetically listening to what she's saying. Now remember, seduction isn't about domination, it's not about winning, because it's not a game, it's a dance. So it's more about leading and feeling and expression with respect. Now once you understand that her playing hard to get is the way that it's supposed to be, then you'll realize that all you have to do is take certain actions with a certain attitude without pushing it too far. Now, if you want to get the date, the first thing you need to do is be assertive without being aggressive. Now, we fear coming off aggressive because we don't want to be assholes, but only assholes are aggressive. Gentlemen are assertive. And being assertive is about being confident, about being decisive and being clear. Now, you have to give yourself permission to tell her what you want. You can't hope that she just gets the hint and asks you out. That's not the way that it works. You have to simply ask her on a date with the confidence that you'll be okay even if she turns you down. Now next you need to be direct without being too pushy. Now when directly asking a woman for a date, timing is everything. Now if you ask too early, you're going to seem a little needy or a little thirsty. If you wait too long, you might seem a little weak or uninterested. Now, if you've done your job in demonstrating your character and communicating your intent, then nothing should be stopping you from simply and directly asking her out on a date. Now, finally, you have to be curious without getting frustrated. You see, when she gives you bullshit, she's not trying to piss you off. She's trying to tell you something. She's trying to communicate to you something without necessarily having to say it. This is part of the way women communicate. Now, I know that it doesn't make sense to the average male mind, but it's not supposed to. If that came easily to us, how would women qualify the best man to help them keep their shit together? Now, even the best of us get confused, but don't let that confusion push you to the point of frustration. That's how you show her that you're weak. Instead, allow the confusion to provoke your curiosity. If you don't understand her actions, seek to understand her better. You're going to get a much better response out of her. And since you didn't react like a little bitch, you're going to avoid her reposting your weak and needy text on her Instagram. Now look, at some point, you might still not understand what she's trying to tell you. At that point, simply say, I don't know what that means, and then wait for a response. Now, men were meant to pursue women, but we weren't meant to badger them. We were meant to lead the courtship process, but we weren't meant to pressure her. Now, it's a woman's job to make sure it's challenging for us. That way she doesn't end up with some weak dude that cracks easily under pressure. So remember, to get the dates, with full confidence and respect. Be assertive, be direct, and be curious.